Today, I have a goal, change some lives. I have a unique perspective, one you've never heard before. You see, you had the legend Barry talk to you, and you know all about how to make loans, and you know what's going to impress me, right? Well, what's more important? What you guys think is going to impress me, or what I think? Yeah, guys, I am your worst nightmare. Yeah, I am your absolute worst nightmare. I'm the guy who for 30 years has been busting his rear to sell more real estate every year, develop systems and strategies, have a consistent pipeline. I'm the one that you would like as one of your annuity clients. Somebody that gave you all their business. I am a real estate agent. I have no idea what you guys do. And here's the deal. I don't care. Is that okay? Yeah. What do I want, guys? What do I want? I want the deal closed. I want a minimum of contact from you. I want my clients happy. And I want you to come in with suggestions based upon my needs on how I consistently increase my business. Is that okay? And I want to give you the plan for that. And I'm going to be just play a little bit. I'm going to be a touch arrogant about it. Because when you leave in this hour, I want to remove all fear. Because I want you to be able to say, hey, I could probably get his business. And so if you can get my business, I want to remove the fear from everybody else that you're going to be coming up against in your area. Is that fair enough, guys? I am the surviving real estate agent. I am a realist. Sally and Steve were buying real estate 3 years ago from me at my open house. 2 years ago, let's say. Interest rates were really, really low. And so Sally says to Steve, I know we're actually buying a little too soon, but this is my dream home. And I know we weren't going to buy a new home for 3 or 4 years, but rates are so low, let's buy it now. What did they just do, guys? They bought forward, didn't they? They took a buyer that I was going to be handling 2 years down the road, and they bought now. Well, wait a minute. On top of that, all the real estate in this area and all over the United States has about doubled in value in the last 3+ years. But wait a minute. On top of that, that increase in prices was based upon a 5% interest rate, which might go to 8. And that's a huge percentage increase. Buying forward, already twice as expensive as it was 3 or 4 years ago, and we have the pressure of the cost of money going up 50 to 60% in the few years to come. Do you think there will be less sales? Good news. Agents get out of the business faster than the business goes down. Understand the concept? I can show you how to make just as much money in a rough market as in a good market. I just need you to hang your star on somebody that consistently has a full pipeline of business. And my friends, the top agents, the top 10% in this country, pretty much have a consistent pipeline no matter how tough things get. And I'd like you to be able to make the presentation to me. And it's going to be cool today. I'm going to have you walk out, and there's going to be no more fear about this stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. We've got a nice group here today. I'm going to be here all day, so when you have questions, please talk to me today. I want to make some big changes. We have a section in the workbook. I'd love you to take some notes. I'd actually like to see some things implemented in the next weeks to months. What I'm going to ask you to do is not hard. I'm the guy that you walked in on when the refinance boom was going on, and you said, hey, this is what you're thinking. Your manager told you that you better be a little more proactive in getting your business, not so reactive, meaning you're accepting a lot of phone calls and doing the refinances, and you're making your money okay, but your manager says that day will end someday. You better go out and call on some real estate agents. So you knock on my door, and what's your sales pitch? What's your cutting-edge sales pitch to me? I've been doing this for 30 years. You walk in, and what's your sales pitch? Hi, I've got decent rates and good service. Do you guys think you even get in and talk to me with that stuff? No. And so I was a little arrogant because I didn't hear anything new from you. So I stepped on your toe a little bit, and you go, wow, life's too short to deal with that guy. Isn't that right? And since refinance business is so darn easy, why even try to work with Mr. Arrogant? Is that okay? Is that kind of what happens? All right, this is what we're all about today. Now, I'm going to ask you to segment your market. You can still go consumer direct. You can still do refinances when you want. You can still work with loser, jelly, donut-eating real estate agents when they say, please do this loan for me. I'll let you do that. But what I'd love you to do is point a small percentage of your marketing dollars and time to the top people. So let's see if we can't tell you why. I appreciate the fact that you give me benefits versus features or values, which means that if you can walk in and tell me the reasons why you are cool to work with, I will listen. I don't care about low rates. Why is that, guys? Because there is no difference between yields between lenders. Maybe an eighth of a percent. I know that. Barry was up here talking about how Ditech beats you up on lower interest rates. I know the yield of my client's the same. So I'm going to deal with a team member that I know that my client's going to be happy with over the whole relationship. I understand the concept. Let's see if we can do these one by one. Automatic lead generation systems. All day long, in my office, I've got great lead generation, asking for listings from people who want to sell homes every day. I own the expired market. I own the absentee owner market. I own the for sale by owner market. I own my database. I solicit every hot demographic there is, and I do that by phone. I do that by mail. I do that by email. I do that by my website. I do that by amazing follow-up. I do that in a multimedia presentation, so all the time my pipeline is full, which means that, you know, that guys, your pipeline's full. If my pipeline's full, isn't that correct? All right, how many top agents, $10 million or more in sales, do you need to make your goal? 5? Pretty good number. I'm going to easily show you how you're going to get 5 of us. Easily show you. Understands building a client for life. When I have a client, I want to own them forever, which means that you have my client forever because I'm going to always make sure you're part of my team. Number next, I get behind a team concept. I know that if I give you all my business, there's a good chance you're going to do a really good job for me. Is that correct? I don't spread my business around. You know, you ever heard a jelly donut eating real estate agent say, well, I kind of like to spread it around a little bit. You ever hear that? Which means I have no loyalty from anyone. I want total loyalty from you guys. I understand the team concept. I want you to be part of my team. I want to advertise you to my seller as part of my team. I want to make a listing presentation and say, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, I can't secure all my services. I can't guarantee top dollar value in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of problems unless I have a good chance of putting my team in place. So when the offer comes in from ABC Mortgage, I'm going to probably ask that we counter it. And my counter offer is going to be very simple, Mrs. Johnson. And the counter offer is going to be buyer to be pre-approved through Barry Habib at CTX Mortgage. After pre-approval, buyer is free to use any lender of their choice. Is that a tough counter offer for me to get through? No. But I got your foot in the door. You show up because you are motivated to go have a face-to-face because there's already a contract written. And 45 minutes later, after taking an app, which is the only really good way to pre-approve somebody, the clients don't say, gee, that was fun. Let's do that again. You probably got the deal, right? I want to make sure that I am the rainmaker for your transactions. I'm not going to ask very much in return. I have iron-fisted client control. So when they leave my office and they put me in charge of their real estate dreams and they drive by the Ditech sign and they call me back, what do I tell them? It's not real. It's not real. I have a business plan. I have my day's time blocked. I know what I need to do every day to make my goals. I have to make $1.5 million in net commissions in real estate, I have to make a listing presentation every day. And that means that I have the systems in place to make a listing presentation every day. So that means I own the inventory, my signs come up, which means that I capture my fair share of buyers. I have a business plan, where jelly donut eating real estate won't have that. I'm a pretty straight shooter. If I'm going to use you, I'm going to use you. If you screw up, I'm going to probably warn you a couple times. And after you screw up on a consistent basis, I'm probably not going to use you anymore at all. All right? All I want you to do is under-promise, over-deliver to me. You know, if you're going to get me approval in 3 days, would you get it in 2.5? Because, see, I told my seller 3 days. I told my buyer 3 days. So never make me a liar. Under-promise, over-deliver. Always make me look good. I have no reason, I have no reason to use anyone but you. And we'll give you some more ways to get my business. I don't need to be resold. So when we cement the relationship, and it might take 4, 5, 6 months, I don't want you to come in my office anymore. I don't need any sticky pads. I don't need any rate sheets. I don't need any pens. God knows I don't need another donut. You guys with me? All right, so I don't really need to see you. And my assistant doesn't need to see you. Because every time I see you, it takes me about 15 minutes to get back to what I was doing. Isn't that correct? So just get the job done, and let's work together as a team, and that's what they made email for. You guys okay with that? I'm going to free you guys up to go solicit other real estate agent business. You're going to own me, and I'm going to free you up. I control the inventory. I control a mutually profitable database. I stopped selling real estate 2 years ago. I sold a house a day for a little over 20 years. Some people say I was the top agent in the United States. I had 17,000 people in my database. Some of my clients that I now coach have 4, 5, 6, 8,000 people in their database. It's mutually profitable. I'm going to ask you to send them a letter occasionally, let them know that it's time for them to consider refinancing or that you have a new investment product out, since I'm pushing investment property right now. It's nice to have a top real estate agent in your stable. We work together. My goal is to increase your business. I'm trying to give you lots of reasons why to work with me, because I know I'm scary. I know I told you I've already got somebody else I'm working with. I know that my broker told you that the broker would rather I use the in-house agency rather than you. I know that I've probably poo-pooed you. I want to give you the tools to come back. We're going to have lots of opportunities for joint promotion. We're going to talk about those today. These are the people that are right now sitting in the offices that you walk into. They sit up time, floor time, opportunity time. Do you know you can make $100 grand in real estate in this market by being an idiot? By sitting there and waiting for the phone to ring? By being an order taker? By collecting phone calls from ads that the broker's running and or selling property to your family and friends? What happens to this person when the buying forward phenomenon, higher interest rates, and the reality of much higher real estate prices hit home and numbers of transactions drop? What happens to these people? Disappear quickly. It's okay to take loans from them. It's not okay to spend marketing dollars on them. Is that okay? We could easily lose half of all real estate agents. It's been happened before. So I don't really want to have relationships with the bottom feeders. Okay? The bottom 80%, I think, are going to come to you because they notice who you're working with. And so they want to do everything they possibly can to emulate top producers. And they look at their choice of team members, and if I've chosen you, they might come to you that way. I think that's a great marketing plan. But rate sheets and money off coupons and stuff like that, not interested. I want a new marketing program. I don't want you dealing with these people because they like to be there for your pre-approval. They like to be there for the application. They like to sit on these things until they close. They are consistently sitting up time. They love to work with buyers, the least profitable segment of this business, and we'll talk about that a little bit today. They're light on technology. They monitor their pendings and hatch eggs. They like hatching eggs. They drive you guys absolutely crazy. They have no client control, which means you're going to lose them to the next guy in the newspaper. The moment that their client sees somebody at a lower interest rate, they think rates are important. They love jelly donuts, and they're trying to you'd be tying your future to an underachiever that might not be in the market in the future. So let's give you the plan, you guys. What do you guys think are the problems of working with top agents, elephant agents? Why don't you have a large stable of elephants right now? What are the problems? Well, I probably already have somebody else I'm working with, right? Yeah, somebody I've been working for a long time. I'm going to give a little story. I'm 16 years old. I won a lottery in Uncle Sam's oil and gas lease lottery, you guys. I'm reading Popular Mechanics, and it said, get rich in Uncle Sam's oil and gas lease lottery. Oh, what's that? So I asked a few people, and 33 or 4 years ago, you guys could actually put in 20 bucks and win the rights to an oil and gas lease on federal lands. And everybody had an equal chance. All citizens of the United States, plus Atlantic Richfield, Texaco, Arco. And you know, I read the article. I didn't have 20 bucks. So I mowed a few lawns. I borrowed 10 bucks from Dad. Put the thing in the lottery. I'm 16, so I promptly forgot about ever doing it. Until about 4 months later, a guy from Roswell, New Mexico takes the liberty of flying up unannounced. Says, Walter, knocks on the door, and I answer. He says, Walter? I say, yeah. He said, Walter, you've won an oil and gas lease in Campbell County, Wyoming. I said, cool. What else does a 16-year-old say, huh? And wow. Heard a bump in the living room. It was my dad rolling off the couch, skidding up, screaming, don't take the first offer! Running to the front door where he helped me negotiate with this guy. And I didn't sell it to him. My dad helped me find out people that owned leases around. And we had found Atlantic Richfield, and they happened to have an interest in the lease, and they offered me $36,000 for this lease. Wow, what does a 16-year-old in Southern California do with $36,000, you guys? What's my only goal in life? What are my two goals in life? Yeah. Car and chicks, right? So in Southern California, what do you ride to get the really good women? Porsche, guys. So I go to Dad with my plan A, and he says, no, son, that's not going to happen. You need seed capital for your life. You need money for your business and school. You need savings. And I said, Dad, stop it. And he says, no, son, it's a hot real estate market. My real estate broker tells me you can't lose in real estate. We're going to go ahead and buy the fourplex in El Monte, California. I've already got it picked out. And I said, oh, Dad. He says, yeah, and you're going to be the manager. And all I could think of is, what about the car? And he explained to me that all you got to do, he's offered me that we're going to take $400 out for a used Datsun. So I'm a proud owner of a fourplex in El Monte, California, cleaning human hair out of the corners of bathrooms on my days off, not loving life, guys. But the real estate agents would come by and say, hey, you can't lose money in real estate. You know, in fact, we need listings. Why don't you go ahead and sell this thing? And you know what I did? And I doubled my money. And I go, wow, could we do this again? And I bought 12 units down the street. I doubled my money in about 4 or 5 months on that. I bought 91 units in downtown LA and tripled my money in a year. I went to Dad and I said, hey, ball and chain, going much too slow for me. You can't lose money in real estate. So I bought them out. I went to Stuttgart, Germany. I bought my own turbo Carrera Porsche European delivery. I'm attending the University of Southern California. Oh, I'm big. Oh, buying real estate. LA has become too cramped for me, so I expand to Seattle and Phoenix. And I buy property up there, sight unseen, because you can't lose money in real estate. And then all of a sudden, 1979 rolls around. Who was here at 18.5% mortgage interest rates? Anybody? Yeah, talk about survivors. What happens when you're a real estate agent at higher interest rates? The phone doesn't ring. You have to check for dial tone, okay? And that's what happened, guys. And I started losing buildings, which is okay in California. We have something called the anti-deficiency statute in California. That's why they call it the granola state. flakes, fruits, and nuts, and here's why. So you can lose all the bank's money in California in a foreclosure, and they can't come after you personally. But see, I had expanded to Seattle and Phoenix, and guess what? They owned me. Banks owned me. And I can remember graduation day, and my dad was sitting there, and he says, son, you're young, you did it once, you can do it again. But what we both failed to realize at the time is that you can, when you lose everything, we both thought that you stopped at zero. Let me tell you guys something. You can go way past zero. And I graduated from college with a guy in my same fraternity house, and he opened a little mortgage company in Long Beach, California. That's who I used as my lender. Good guy, good rates, good service. Never screwed up. Is that okay? Never screwed up. And I learned and copied other top agents from all over the world. And I implemented their systems. I put my own spin on them. And I soon became one of the top agents in California within a few years. And I was doing a lot of business. And he kept doing all my loans. Then there's this brand new loan rep. I mean, talk about probably never doing a loan. And he walks in and he says, you know, I don't expect to go ahead and actually get any of your business until I can help you with your business. You see, he had come from a background where if you're going to sell software to somebody, you have to know something about the company. Do you guys understand the concept? How the hell are you going to sell me stuff like loans with you not even understanding what I do in this business? And so he understood that, gosh, maybe if he learned a little bit about my business and could help me in my business, maybe he'd be more effective in going ahead and being a big part of my business. And he worked 3 or 4 or 5 months on being a team member. And at some point, he made a difference in my business. It's a neat concept, you guys. I'm going to ask you to go after these people. I know they're scary. I know they have somebody else. I know there's a controlled business arrangement by the broker in the office. I know they're arrogant. I know they're just horrible people sometimes. So here's the first job I want you to do when you get back. I want you to put down and write down, when you get back to your offices, I want you to find the top 40 real estate agents in your market. Top 40, how do you do that? Get a real estate agent that's your friend that has access to the MLS stats, and I want the top 40. Then I want you to add 5 Eye of the Tiger agents. You know what an Eye of the Tiger agent is? This is the kid that has his lights on at 7:30 at night, brand new. You see him doing 2 open houses a weekend. He lives, eats, and drinks real estate. You know he's going to be a success. I want 5 Eye of the Tigers. I want 5 killer agents on the list. And then I want you to add 5 mentors, legends. People that may not be doing huge amounts of business right now, but people that are legends in your area. Add 5 of them. Then I want you to go through the list, and I want you to cross out 10 that you say to yourself, life is too short to work with that person. Are there people like that? No matter how much money they make, real estate agents, the life is too short for you to work with? And we're back down to 40 people. You guys okay with me on this? A 40-person hit list. This is not a huge marketing campaign. 40 people. And here's the next step, I think. By the way, why is it so easy to work with jelly donut eaters? Why do you guys work with them? Why is it so easy? They're easy to find. They're in the office. They want to shoot the bull. They're easy to talk to. Since they don't have their daytime blocked, they've got a free 10 minutes for you. You guys okay with me on this stuff? I just don't want you to hang your star on these people anymore. Okay? All right. That's what we just talked about. Question is, you got to get an appointment with me. And I'm already happy, so I'm not going to give you an appointment. You guys with me on this stuff? Because here's the goal. You can't be a team member unless you know about me. I don't want to hear, I've got good rates and good service anymore. 30 years you guys have been marching in and out of my offices. In fact, we do not let you in anymore. Okay? So you're going to have to get a personal appointment with me, one of the 40 people. And I'm going to give you a couple of months to do it. It might take that long. Now, since I'm going to be the worst of the worst, here's the campaign that would get you into my office. Postcard gets sent out. We at, what's the name of the company you work for? The Loan Group? Right. We at the Loan Group, what is a value-added service? Service dictating that real estate agents' bottom line is the most important business at hand. Okay? It's all postcard. What do I do with that postcard you just sent me? Throw it out. Throw it away. 5 days later, why does the loan group enhance value-added services for the client, the real estate agent? Well, if we can help with your business, maybe we can earn your business. Oh, there's a new concept. You're not selling service. You're not selling your smile. You're not selling the fact that you close loans at in rates. Okay? All right. Postcard 3. 5 days later. I threw that one away too, by the way. So what is a value-added service? Well, real estate educational materials loaned to the real estate agent, new ideas on client lead generation for the agent. More is coming. Throw that one away. Another card comes. By the way, you only got 40 people on your hit list. You're not breaking the bank on this, are you? Okay, all right. So what exactly is a value-added service? Continued. New ideas on building clients for life. Profitable systems for the real estate agent, holding the agent accountable to their goals, and establishment of a team. Wow, you haven't said one thing about good rates or good service yet. Because I don't care. Because you all say you do that. You are all exactly the same to me. Now, there are some loser loan officers in my town, but the top 5 are all the same to me. Is that fair to say? Okay. I threw that one away too. So how does a top real estate agent get started with the loan group? Well, simply allow us a needs analysis meeting. Now, you're going to really ask me what my needs are before you actually ask for a loan? Brand new concept. I threw that one away. Needs analysis, what the heck is that? Well, the simple meaning of 2 great real estate minds. You consider yourself a pretty smart real estate guy? Yeah, sure he does. Okay? To increase your profits. The call is coming. You guys are kind of, I like marketing. I like marketing. I threw that away too, sir. Okay? But I did ask my assistant, Tori, I asked her if you called yet, just to test to see if you were actually doing what you're saying you're doing. Yeah, he called. Good, hang up on. You knew that was going to happen. You know I appreciate good marketing. You know I love this business. So you go ahead and you type this letter. There's a dynamite loan officer in town. I'm just waiting for you to light the fuse so I can show you how I can blow away the preconceptions of what a great service is. Explosive joint prospecting systems, no flash in the pan follow-up, red-hot third-party endorsement letters, you know, the whole 9 yards. These are just a few of the team services I'd like to help to detonate your career, please. Accept my coming call, and you hand sign a letter, nicely printed. You roll it up, you stick it in a firecracker mailing tube. You put a return address label, you put address to me, and you stamp, you take it to the main post office, and this is on my desk the next day. I think it's cute. I read it, but I throw that away too. I told you guys I was kind of a poop. Is that okay? You get by me, you get by anybody, because I was a king of the poops. All right? Tough. Really tough. As you can see, I'm trying to appeal to mutual desire of profitability. And it goes on to explain how you'd like to have a meeting with me. I don't respond to that either. So you go back to your office, you take that bang, dynamite new agent in town letter, you print it up again, you sign it. There's no copy from the first, there's no difference from the one you sent in the first tube to the second tube. You take it out of the printer and you sign it the exact same way. I can't tell the difference between the first letter I got and this letter. It's the exact copy. You go to Office Depot or Staples and you have this stamp made and it says, "Please don't throw me away again." And you stamp this puppy, just like right there. Just like right there. And what happens is, you then crumble it up. And you uncrumble it. A rip here or there. Guys, fold it in thirds, type another envelope to me, mail it to me. I get it. I look over to my assistant and I say, "Tori, the son of a bitch is in our trash." You guys, am I going to accept your phone call? Am I going to accept your phone call? With a smile on my face. 9 postcards, 2 hand-signed letters, a couple of voicemails, not offering to sell me a loan, but asking for a needs analysis meeting. I'm going to give you 20 minutes and we're going to have a needs analysis meeting. You know nothing about real estate. Let's assume. How long have you been a loan officer? How long? You know a lot about it. Who's a year or less in this business? You know nothing about real estate, do you? So, if you ask me all the questions, who controls the conversation? You do, sir. You don't need to know anything about real estate. You're going to have a needs analysis meeting. Hi, Walt. Tell me, how many transactions did you close last year? How many millions did you sell? What percentage came from buyers? What percent came from sellers? What's your average sales price? Do you have an assistant? Are you computerized? How are you computerized? What software are you using? What's your internet strategy? Who's your provider? What's your lowest cost, highest producing form of lead generation? And we have got how many questions? 57 questions that you sit there. Now, am I going to not be able to answer some? Sure, I have no idea what my percentages are. Am I going to mention that I had a problem with a listing presentation last week with one of the big competitors in town? Am I going to tell you about something I have planned to do in the future? What are you going to know about me? You're going to know more about me than my broker does, my family does. You are going to know exactly where my head's at in real estate. And what do you have in the future? What do you have the ability to do? Come in for the next 5 or 6 months and give me ideas. And quit asking for business until you help me. Do you think I'll appreciate that? And by the way, this kid that beat out my fraternity brother came in with the most stupid ideas I'd ever heard. He was the only loan officer trying. You okay with the concept? He saw cards on my desk. He said, what are those? I said, agents who have shown my listings. He said, who's following up on those showings? And I said, well, I am, but it's a pain. He says, let me do it. And he sent fax and email surveys to each of the showing agents, asking them what they thought of the listing, and then letting them know that their buyer and their car would be accepted much more readily by a listing agent if they were pre-approved. And then he got back the surveys, which took a system off my desk, but he was contacting all the agents who had buyers in their cars. With an amazing service that was email-based, that didn't cost him any money. He took a system out of my office, and he is actually soliciting all of the people who were representing buyers in town. Was I impressed? A couple more of those ideas, and guess what? I was a $70 million real estate producer that probably equated to somewhere in $40 or $50 million in loans. He had my business in four months doing this kind of stuff. He's the only guy that absolutely tried to help me in my business on a consistent basis with some of the most stupid ideas, but then again, he was the only guy trying. Give him our ideas. How to answer the phone when a seller calls in. 25 questions to ask a seller when a seller walks in. I can increase an agent's listing presentation closing ratio by 30% just by doing a better job of counseling over the phone before they get there. If your agent has a problem closing listings against the competition, give them this 4-page form and have them ask better questions at the time that the seller comes in. Lead generation ideas. Ideas on buyers. How to cut out and how to cut out the least profitable buyers. What technology is making money? These kids, God, they're just absolutely overwrought with what technology to buy next. 90% of the business in real estate comes from the successful manipulation of your current client and past client database. Let's give them a letter so they manipulate their database correctly. How to train assistants. How to help them find an assistant. Especially these top producers. Checklists, organization, they're all running around with their heads cut off. Let's get them. How to solicit their database. And then ideas on maybe joint programs in regards to how to invest. Absentee owners, software knowledge. We can do so much for them. Joint lead generation. Every Monday I'd like you to come in if you're my loan officer. I've gone ahead and I've done all the for sale by owner research. I've looked in the penny saver and I've pulled them all off the Warnox, and I've looked in the local newspaper, and my team and my family have driven by all the for sale by owner signs, and I've done a really good job of assembling all the for sale by owner information. I'd like you to come in and pick it up. Because FSBOs don't like to talk to me right now because they can sell their homes by themselves. That will change, won't it, ladies? So you come in at 3 o'clock, my weekly appointment with you, so that we can check up on pending. Say, hi, Mr. Johnson. My name is Angie,
And I work for North American Savings Bank, and I see like we're kind of in the same sort of business. You're selling a home, I provide mortgages. Why don't we explore ways in which we can work together? You see, what I can do, Mrs. Johnson, I can put together a sheet showing 5 ways in which your house can be financed. Therefore, you give more options to your buyer. Number 2, I can go ahead and help pre-qualify or pre-approve you once we determine what your net equity is for your next home. And I can give you a pre-approval certificate if you buy anywhere within Illinois. And number 3, I can go ahead and take your brochures that you produce on your property, and I can supply them to some of my real estate friends. And if they have a client, you might be able to work out a deal with them. And number 4, I can go ahead and pre-qualify every buyer you meet with so you know you're negotiating with somebody that can actually close. And number 6, and number 7, Angie, you're filled with services that FSBOs love. And you follow up once a week and you're their new best friend. And you introduce them to team members and you do all kinds of stuff. And guess what? 12 days they sell their house. Angie, you got the loan. In the meantime, they met 9 buyers. 6 of them were pre-qualified. Where the hell did they end up? My desk, Angie. It's my idea, my script, okay? My idea, my desk, Angie, okay? Okay. And I just got 9 pre-approved buyers that didn't buy that FSBO from you. But wait a minute. Rates are up a 1.5. Things aren't selling as fast. It's 4 weeks down the road. And he says to you, Angie, I can't leave work anymore to show my house. Angie, I don't like people seeing my house with my wife there, me not being there. And Angie, here's her hard close. Well, gee, Mr. Johnson, one of the top agents in the town is Walter Sanford. He's known for netting you more money than you can net yourself anyways. Why don't I give you his phone number and give him a call, okay? Hard close, Angie. You run out to your cell phone and you get on there and you scream at me, "Get this guy!" All right, and what are you delivering to me at that point? A pre-tenderized FSBO. They're not super FSBO anymore. What are they? They're beat up and are so much easier for me to close. I love you for that. In the meantime, I'm meeting buyers that are closing and getting you loans. You are delivering me for sale by owners that turn into listings, that get signs up, which means buyers call me and I get more buyers that turn into loans for you. But wait a minute, you are controlling 10% of the market in this town, of which about a good 60% of them are actually selling, and you've got the majority of those loans. And I gave you the script and I gave you the letters. Wow, joint lead generation. I love this concept, guys. Love it. Now watch this. I don't like open houses. But Angie says, well, why don't we do one once a quarter? I got this great idea at this seminar. Why don't we do 15-minute open houses? You guys know what a 15-minute open house is? What's your name, sir? So Kevin, you're in Long Beach, California, or I now live in Kankakee, Illinois. You guys know that? Yeah. Had a waterfront house on Catalina Island. Big Southern California real estate agent, huge guy. But as you know, women in California, it's not a good place to find them, okay? So anybody in California always comes to the Midwest to try to find a wife. So 5 years ago, I'm speaking at the Illinois State Convention for Real Estate Agents, and this gal, Lisa, in the front row, and she's in charge of the committee hiring the speaker, and fall in love with her, right then and there. And I fly her out and I show her all this cool stuff in California. I'm going to knock the socks off this Midwest gal, right? And show her all this cool stuff. And she said, this is great, but I need to be near my family, and I have already have a very successful real estate practice in Kankakee, Illinois. And she said that if you want me, you'll need to move to Kankakee, Illinois. I said, sure. Well, I now live in Kankakee, Illinois. So in Long Beach, this happened all the time. But she also said, by the way, I'm also not going to do any of that crazy stuff you talk about at seminars. Well, that isn't true. She's now doing everything that I have done in my life. And one of those things is, about 4 months ago, she did her first 15-minute open house. She put 8 listings together. She had a newspaper ad. She said, Frank at GMAC Mortgage and Lisa Sanford present Lisa Sanford's open house tour. And the first house was open from 1 to 1:15. Second house was open from 1:30 to 1:45. Third house was open from 2 to 2:15. And you know what? It was great. 8 houses, 15-minute open houses, 15-minute travel times. She put up signs on Thursday afternoon, says open house 1 to 1:15. Imagine you're with your wife. You drive by this cute little house. She points at it. She says, I love this house. And you look at it and goes, open house 1 to 1:15. What do you say to her? Debbie, we better be on time, right? Yeah, oh yeah. And so, day comes to the open house. She goes to the first house. There's actually people waiting to get in. Why? Why are they waiting to get in? Because they only got 15 minutes to say the stupid place. And she gets the lockbox, and you're with her because, it was your idea. And you said, I'll help out. And you let 14 people, 14 couples, 28 people into this 1,400 square foot house. What happens when you put 28 people into a 1,400 square foot house, guys? A little scarcity develops, doesn't it? Over here they're saying, this is so cute. And over here they're saying, I love this house. But there really isn't a lot of time to talk about it because what are you guys doing on the 14th minute? Let's go, guys! They're out of here. And you get out like the Pied Piper of real estate. And you stream out and you jump in the cars. And it's like a caravan to the next house. And I'm in luck because my arch enemy RE/MAX agent competitor is across the street. He has a listing. And the seller's out mowing his lawn. And he sees me get out, not with 28 people, but it's grown. We've got 41 people now in the caravan. We jump out of the car. We go into the house. Oh, my God! And he drops his lawnmower across the street, walks in, and who does he call? His agent. And what does he say? Hey, loser, where are my buyers? Oh, love this business. What was your first name was? And so, Kevin, what the hell are you doing all this time? What are you doing? Pre-approving people for me, pre-qualifying. I can't talk to everybody, Kevin, so get me over in the corner and here's what you say. Flake, flake, good, good, flake, flake, good, good, flake. Okay, tell me who is going to buy and who's going to sell. I'll give you the script. Here's your script. Hey, you're buyer or seller today. Hot script, huh? So bottom line is this isn't hard stuff, Kevin. And we go to house 4, and we go to house 5, and we go to house 6. What is house 7 and 8? 2 FSBOs that I had called that week said, Mrs. Johnson, I'm going to be putting a bunch of my buyers through your home for about 15 minutes. I wonder if over the phone we can negotiate a commission. She said, sure. So I had put no addresses. They're secret homes. We show up. We put more people through that house than any that FSBO's ever seen in their whole life. And I've done this for 20 years. Every one of these deals, which takes me from 1 to 4 on a Sunday, I sell one of the 8 homes. Every other time I sell 2 of the 8 homes. I put 5 to 9 new people in my database. I meet 3 pre-approved buyers from you, which get pre-approved in the next few days. I make 2 listing presentations in the next 2 weeks. Did I just spend a profitable time, guys? Wow, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Joint lead generation stuff. Things where you guys can work together on. Talk about divorces. Gosh, I'm going to immediately ask you to go and pull all the divorces in your county. Write them a letter on your stationery. Who's been divorced in here? Painful, isn't it? Yeah. Whew. Write the letter. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, I'm sorry to hear about your pending personal litigation, but did you know that when you sign over a quitclaim deed, grant deed, or warranty deed in Illinois, vacating borrower's name still remains on the underlying loan documents, therefore is subject to the paying habits of the remaining owner and or might find it difficult to qualify for a new loan. The only way to get around that is by refinancing the property at some of the lowest interest rates in the last 40 years. Wow, guys. You show up at these meetings, there's not enough equity or not enough credit rating to refinance the property. Who gets the listing lead? Angie? Me, right? But there is the ability to refinance. You guys get to refinance. Joint lead generation stuff. I've got 15 or 20 systems where we can both make money. And I want us to work together on this stuff. This is what I want to hear from you. This is what turns me on. Things that make you money make me money. Third-party endorsement letters. I'm going out on a listing presentation. I just asked him all those questions I showed you earlier. I email you all the questions. You know that on Thursday afternoon, next week, I have a listing presentation. You send them a letter that says, Dear Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, congratulations on considering Walter Sanford as your new listing agent. When you list with Walter Sanford, we, being a team member of the Sanford team, offer the following items. And we offered them the same items we offered the FSBO. Remember those? Pre-qualifying buyers, 5 ways in which your house can be financed, all these wonderful things. A letter from you, third-party endorsement about me before I ever go out on a listing presentation, and all you had to do is email it. All you had to do is press a button. You just increased my chance of getting that listing by 20%. What's a $500,000 listing in Illinois worth to me? $500,000 times 3% is $15,000. I've got a 20% chance of getting both ends of the transaction. I need 3 to 4 buyers from the sign, and the Client goes in my database for follow-up for the next 15, 20 years, and I get 5 or 6 more transactions from that. It's probably worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $100,000 to me. $100,000, and you increase my chances to 20% of getting it. Wow, guys, I love this stuff. Third-party endorsement letters. Training my assistant. I've got an assistant. I'm one of the top 10% people. Teach her how to pre-approve, pre-qualify a buyer. Teach her the loan process. Give her some checklists so she can be organized. Give her some very simple lead generation systems that she can work and generate me more leads. Help me with these guys. Team promotion. Here's what will happen. I make the listing presentation. I'll show them how they get my sales assistant, how they get my other assistants, the people the broker hires, but I'll also have a spot for you right down there with your picture. I will promote the team so heavily. In fact, I want you, because you're giving me so much service, I want you to be able to request this in a matter of 3 to 4 months. Remember that counter offer that I talked about? Here's what you earn. Offer comes in. I've already sold you to my seller. My counter offer goes off automatically. Buyer to be pre-qualified by Val Ratio of Big Loan Inc. After pre-approval, buyer is free to use any lender of their choice. I am always going to get your foot in the door. I don't want to do any more transactions without you. There is nobody that cares more about my closing and my client than you. Is that correct? Why? Because I'm a huge client of yours. So I'm going to make sure on the other end that I give you everything I possibly can. You're the only person that came in, didn't try to sell me a loan. You're trying to sell me ideas or concepts. Yeah. I control the listing. I control the inventory. Offer comes in. Sounds like a good deal. I'm going to increase the deposit money. I'm going to firm up the contingency dates. I'm going to clean up the team. Part of the cleanup of the team is, I love you, man. I don't know the guy at ABC Mortgage. Okay? Do you think I've ever been lied to by a mortgage company? Huh? And so I take that lie, I take it to the seller, I tell the seller that lie, and who's the schmuck? Not the lender, I am. I love you, man. You're not gonna lie to me. You love our relationship. You are talking to that buyer before I let that seller sign the deal. What's that called? Iron-fisted client control. Where does that come from? Top 5 or 10% of all real estate agents. I know what it takes to close a transaction. You with me on this stuff? That's the kind of stuff you earn from me when you start coming in and saying, how can I help you, rather than, you know, get a loan from me, all right? Bottom line is, I love this stuff. Here's another self-serving thing. Gosh, guess what? You put together a realtor seminar, I spend 3 hours in the afternoon teaching all your real estate agents about joint lead generation alliances between their lender. If you ever had me as a speaker, if you are in charge of the board's affiliate division, whatever, I will promote you until hell freezes over in regards to realtors should only pick one lender, period. And then you should work together for mutual benefit. You get 5 or 10 of these people together, and here's what happens. You form a power player club. This kid got my business. And then because of that, he got somebody else's business because they saw that I was using him and that other person wanted to be more like me, so they're using him now. And pretty soon he's got 5 or 6 or 7 top producers in town. Then we had this idea, why don't we put together a power players group? And so now what he does is he accepts my best seller and my best buyer by way of email every Thursday night. By 5 o'clock by Thursday, I have to email him my best buyer, the guy that's going to buy very quickly, and my best seller, the most motivated seller I possibly have. And he's going to go ahead and he's going to assemble my best buyer and best seller from the top 10 of his real estate agent clients. You know what he's going to do then? He's going to consolidate them and he's going to refax them back to everybody else. 15% of my business came from that stupid list that he did. He had a little power players group. He just asked everybody what the top buyer and the top seller was from the top agents in town, the agents that control the marketplace. And then he redistributed agents. What? When I saw that Frank had a buyer from another agency, put a deal together. You guys are the catalyst to that. You guys can easily walk into different offices and get information from these top people. I put together a power players group for me. Be a voice of the top producers in your area. Wow. A 1-800-IVR system. You guys have done that for years. Callback systems. Loan to real estate agents, collect the leads, pull the leads back out. Internet hooks. Give me stuff to put on my website. Give me a link to your site. Give me the methods to pre-approve or pre-qualify my buyers on my website. Have them go ahead and hit a link right back to your site. Help me with my website. I need stuff for my websites. Help me with the databasing. At close, I'd love a letter going out to my buyer that says, "Dear Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, congratulations on your new purchase. The Sanford team works hard to achieve these kinds of goals." Kevin, what's your name of your company, Kevin? We at Wells Fargo appreciate working with the Sanford team. We appreciate putting new people in homes. Did you know that if you just paid $200 more on your mortgage, you could eliminate $61,000 in interest over a 30-year loan and cut your loan time down to 17 years? You might wonder why Wells Fargo is telling you this. Well, it's the goal of the Sanford team to be an asset and a resource to all your real estate making decisions. I hope that I can call you a couple times a year to see how you're doing, to ask if you're thinking about buying or selling your investment property, or if the opportunity for a refinance comes up. I'd like to discuss that with you. I hope you accept my phone calls. Sincerely, Kevin. He sent a letter at close mentioning my name in the body, Kevin, offering my client additional services, asking if it's okay if you call. If that call, you're already setting them up to ask them if they know of anybody thinking about buying or selling, if they're thinking about investment property. You're joint databasing with me. You with me on this stuff? It's a host-parasite relationship, okay? Now, here's the deal. You segmented the top agents in the country in your location. You found them by MLS stats. You've sent them 6, 8, 9 postcards. You only got 40 of them, so it's not going to cost you a lot of money. You sent them 2 hand-signed letters. You made 4 or 5 phone calls. You got an appointment. You sat down for 20 minutes and you asked them 57 questions. You know more about this person than anybody else in your town. You now have a relationship. When you come back in the office, I'm going to look forward to seeing you. Yes. You know why? Because whether it's a stupid solution or a smart solution, you're the only lender coming in with some solution to some problem that was discovered after you asked 57 questions. So I'm going to welcome seeing you again, which means closed offices are no longer a problem because you have an appointment with me. And who runs the office, the broker or me? Who runs the office, the broker or me? The broker does what I tell him to do. We are the top producers in the office. The broker is there to service us. You okay with that concept? I don't care if he has an in-house lender. Don't care. So wow, you now have an appointment all the time with me. It's going to take you 4 to 6 months to get my business, and you're coming in with solutions all the time. You now have a relationship with me. Even if you didn't have any ideas. I told you that I was going to start sending out expired letters this week. Do you know that real estate agents all across this country are paying guys like me $10,000 and $15,000 a year up front in cash to hold them accountable to their goals? They pay people like Mike Ferry $12 grand, $10 grand, $15 grand for coaching contracts. All I'm asking you guys to do is say, well, Walt, I don't have any ideas for you this week, but you did mention you're going to be sending out an expired letter. Here's 15 to choose from. And I'd like to come in next week to make sure you do it. My goal is to increase your business, Walter. And you know what? I'm going to feel funny even asking for loan business until I become part of your increase in your business. Is that an okay sales pitch? It's the only one I'll ever hear, except from the very top loan officers. Remember, you've got to segment this new market. And the new market is me. The people that you forgot for the last 3 years because I was too much of a hassle to work with and money was too easy. Well, guess what? I'm one of the survivors. So I want you to come back to me, and I want you to help me out, and I want us to both come in with ideas that are going to increase both of our incomes. You okay with this stuff so far? It's the only thing I want to hear. And I speak for all the top producers out there. So I want to go ahead and hold me accountable. Help me build a team. And I want you to plug yourself into some good real estate deals. Here's what I want you to get really excited about, though. When you have relationships with top real estate agents, and you start making a lot of money from a guy like me who has a full pipeline all the time of loans, you're going to make more money. What do you think I want you to do with your money, guys? Well, do you think I want you to buy your... No, not my Porsche. No, I want you to buy real estate. Yeah, I don't want you to buy your brother's video store or open a restaurant. I'd like you to buy the product that you guys are involved with every day. Are there some rules for buying real estate? And this is our little secret today, okay? This is not for investors. This is not for anybody but you. Are there some rules for never losing money in real estate? First of all, can you lose money buying real estate? This is way outside what I was supposed to talk about here today, okay? But it's something I love and it's dear in my heart. Because, you know, I got to give you a reason for dealing with a guy like me and making more money. And that is to buy investment property to somebody be financially independent. Is that okay, Kev? Okay, so what are the rules for buying real estate? And you're talking to a guy who was one of the top investors in the country and lost it all the first time. And then the second time, she got a really good attorney, and I lost it a second time. And I'm 48 years old, and God, I feel it, okay? 48 years old, I've got 72-year-old hair, okay? But I am back a third time, okay? And how do you buy real estate, you guys? You're dealing with all the top real estate agents in town. They're getting all these listings in every day. Shouldn't you have them look out for something for you? Here are the 5 rules you tell a real estate agent you want. And since you're dealing with 10 or 15 of the top people in town, you have time to wait. You have lots of inventory being presented to you. Here's what you want. Number 1, you want to buy with the intention of never selling. Is that okay, guys? You want to buy with the intention of never selling. Do you look at a piece of real estate differently when you know you're never going to sell it? Is it in a better area, better condition, better location, better financing? Oh my goodness, yes. Rule 2, no negative cash flow. You guys know what that means? Do you guys know what that means, really? You buy a duplex in Kankakee, and you're getting $2,000 a month in rent, and it's free and clear. You paid all cash for this stupid thing. How much of that $2,000 a month goes toward expenses? Come on, smart lenders. It's a 40% expense factor on a house or a duplex. 40% expense factor, which means that 40% of your free and clear income goes away in taxes, insurance, a vacancy factor, a maintenance factor, repair and replacement, tax, accounting fees, all landscaping, all the junk you guys do. So that means you are netting $1,200 out of your $2,000 rent, which means your PI, principal interest, has to be covered by $1,200 for a break-even situation. I want no pain, no negative cash flow. Rule 3, no adjustable rate mortgages. What will they do in the future? Go up, which will do what? Cause negative cash flow, which will do what? Cause pain, which will make what happen? Violate rule number 1. You with me? No adjustable rate mortgages. Rule 4, no balloon payments. Oh, well, the second's due like in 5 years. That's forever. How fast does 5 years come by? It's tomorrow, guys, in this business. So now you're refinancing all of a sudden in an 11% mortgage interest rate market on a variable loan. You're now forcing yourself to have to sell in a rotten market. No balloon payments, fully amortized. Last rule, do not buy in areas where you have to collect rents with guns. Life's too short. Oh, but Walter, the return is so much better. No, it's not. Your expense factor is 65%. I don't want you guys buying in rough areas, okay? Now, here's the deal. I would love to see you hang your star on 5 or 10, that's all you needed, right, man? 5 or 10 killer agents. I want you to walk in, I want you to find out what their needs are. I want you to finally stop being an order taker and a service giver and be a helper. I want you to be a team member. I want you to think of yourself that way. And I don't want you to be afraid about bringing me stuff that's stupid, because you'll be the only person trying. And do you think I'll appreciate that, you guys? Do you think I'll appreciate that you're the only one trying? I'm not gonna be mean to you. You're trying to help me based upon that meeting. You don't need to know a ton about real estate, guys, because you're the ones asking the questions at the needs analysis meeting. You don't need to be giving me amazing amounts of advice. Help me. Change my life. Be different from everybody else. Earn my business. You will not believe how loyal we are to you guys. Thank you so much for having me here today.